Happy Indian Independence Day. We share a special bond that I've seen deepen over many years. As U.S. Senator and Vice President, I've watched it deepen. 15 years ago, I was leading the efforts to approve the historic civil nuclear deal with India. I said if the United States and India became closer friends and partners, then the world will be a safer place.
Joe Biden is all set to become the next president of the United States of America. In this episode, I am going to analyze if Joe Biden and his policies will be good for India or will it hurt India at the end. So let's first see who is Joe Biden as a politician. Joseph Robinette Biden Jr. was born on 28 November 1942. He is an active American politician who has served as the 47th Vice President of the United States in the Obama administration from 2009 to 2017. He also served as a Senator of Delaware from 73 to 2009. With a political career that spans for more than 5 decades, Joe Biden is generally viewed as a very honest man. He has been one of the poorest senators in the United States, and he is quite often referred by the media as middle-class Joe. He has frequently championed human rights, liberal immigration policies, and the blue-collar working American families. On top of it, he has been a stalwart in the American foreign policy establishment. In addition to all of this, his tenure as the vice president and his closeness with former President Barack Obama made him win the Democratic presidential primary elections by defeating some of the other heavyweights of the Democratic Party, such as Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Before we analyze whether Joe Biden will be good or bad for India, let's analyze his past political career in order to understand his political priorities. Joe Biden was a long-time member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He became its member in 1997 and twice became its chairman from 2001 to 2003 and then again on 2007 to 2009. So let's first understand the role Senate Foreign Relations Committee in the American politics play. This is a very powerful committee. This is a standing committee of the US Senate. It is charged with leading foreign policy legislations. This committee is responsible for overseeing and funding foreign aid programs. Now let's see Joe Biden's voting record in the Senate. Joe Biden voted against the authorization for the Gulf War in 1991. However, in 1999, during the war in Kosovo, he supported the NATO bombing of Yugoslavia. Biden was a strong supporter of the war in Afghanistan and said that whatever it takes, we must do it. As head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, Biden said in 2002 that Saddam Hussein was a threat to the US national security and there was no option but to eliminate that threat. He eventually disliked the mismanagement of the war under the presidency of George Bush and became a vocal critic of the war. He also accepted that his vote for the war in Iraq was a mistake. Now, Joe Biden didn't support India's nuclear test in 1998. However, in 2001, he wrote a letter to President George Bush and requested him to remove the sanctions that were imposed on India after the nuclear test. Moreover, he supported the Indo-US nuclear deal. This landmark agreement faced significant opposition in the US Senate, but Joe Biden steadily supported the bill and he played a very instrumental role in getting the support from his colleagues in the US Senate. This included then Senator Barack Obama and Senator Hillary Clinton, both of whom were very worried that any exemption given to India will inspire other nations to experiment with nuclear technologies. In an interview with Rediff India Abroad in 2006, Joe Biden said that, "My dream is that in 2020, the two closest nations in the world will be India and the United States." However, there are few areas of concern that we need to address. Can our Indian Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi develop a good working relationship with the potential US President Joe Biden? That's an area of concern we all have, as these two leaders have very different history and political priorities. Joe Biden has recently remarked in one of his election rallies that the Indo-US relationship have elements of good, bad and ugly. The good part of it is of course the strategic relation between India and the United States. However, the bad part that Joe Biden was referring to is removal of Article 370, the Citizenship Amendment Act and the various strong-arm technique that the Modi government adopted to stop the spread of violence in the Kashmir Valley, such as arresting key opposition leaders such as Omar Abdullah and Farooq Abdullah, and suppression of internet connectivity in the Kashmir Valley. Notice here one thing very carefully. Removal of Article 370 and implementation of the Citizenship Amendment Act are the key reforms of the Modi government. This brings us to the question of difference in outlook of Joe Biden and Narendra Modi. Joe Biden is a liberal. He is a progressive politician who have championed liberal immigration policies and advocated that the US government adopt a soft approach towards the illegal immigrants from Mexico. Biden supported the US bombing on Yugoslavia under the dictatorship of Slobodan Milosevic simply because Milosevic massacred thousands and thousands of Bosnian Muslims during the war in Kosovo. Moreover, during the first US presidential debate, Biden uttered the word Inshallah in response to Trump saying that you will get to see his federal income taxes. Now, most of the American politicians will hesitate to say Inshallah in an open public debate. But Joe Biden has no problem in openly showing his admiration for the Muslim community.
Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750.
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to see it. But let me just tell you.
He denounced President Donald Trump's tough action against Mexican illegal immigrants. He opposed building the border wall on the US-Mexico border. He also opposed some of the extreme steps taken by the Trump administration, such as separation of children from the families of Mexican illegal immigrants and deporting their parents back to Mexico, thus leaving more than 500 children with the US authorities. He quite frequently opposed President Trump's aggressive approach on various issues, such as dealing with China, banning the nuclear deal with Iran, banning Muslims from entering the United States, and so on. Some of Donald Trump's actions are quite similar to that of Narendra Modi's actions. Both Modi and Trump are tough leaders who demonstrate a tough persona. Both Modi and Trump believe in taking aggressive action against Muslims and illegal immigrants, and both of them promote nationalistic sentiment. And this is what I believe will be the core difference between Narendra Modi and Joe Biden. Narendra Modi enjoyed a great relationship with Donald Trump.
He actually speaks very good English, we just don't want to
Be it the Howdy Modi event in Houston or the Namaste Trump event in Ahmedabad in India, these two world leaders shared a great personal bond. But that's not likely to happen with Joe Biden in the White House. Modi and Biden are temperamentally quite opposite. But is that going to hurt the Indo-US strategic relationship? Let's analyze some of the key parameters of the Indo-US relationship to understand how things might play out in the near future. If economic relationship is considered foundational, then there may be some long-term advantage with the policies of Joe Biden, as he favors multilateralism and is less transactional in his approach. As far as India is concerned, the idea that there is a great bonhomie between Trump and Modi that is quite overdone. Below the surface, there have been a lot of tensions between Washington and New Delhi. If you want to understand the tensions in the Indo-US trade relationship, then you need to understand a small term called the GSP. What is GSP? The Generalized System of Preference, or the GSP, is the largest and the oldest US trade preference program, and it is designed to promote economic development by allowing duty-free entry for thousands of products from designated beneficiary countries. Despite all the bonhomie between Trump and Modi, the Trump administration has removed India from the GSP list, and that have greatly impacted our export to the United States. The Trump administration has said that India has not assured the US that it will provide equitable and reasonable access of the Indian market to US companies. It is unclear at this point whether Joe Biden will once again add India into the GSP list, but our diplomats in Washington and New Delhi will try their level best to get that done. Our biggest hope at that point is Joe Biden believes in multilateral approaches. Hence, he values the traditional methods of settling trade disputes via the World Trade Organization mechanism, instead of adopting some heavy-handed tactics that President Trump deployed against India. On the question of Pakistan and terrorism, both Joe Biden and Donald Trump have made it very clear that they stand solidly behind India. Both candidates seem to hold similar position when it comes to supporting India on its chief security concern, which is Pakistan. But Biden has received Hilal-e-Pakistan, the country's second highest civilian honor, when he was the Vice President of the United States. He received this honor simply because he supported the economic and military assistance of the United States towards Pakistan. Between 2013 and 2016, the US aid to Pakistan was consistently over $630 million every year, which President Trump brought down to a level of $400 million in 2017 and 18. You may remember that President Trump, shortly after becoming the US president, tweeted that USA got only lies and deceit from Pakistan. In a sharp contrast to that, Biden may oppose Pak-sponsored terrorism, but he will support the democratic and the military institutions in Pakistan by providing them with billions of dollars of financial aid. Now, some of that money may be used against India. So in terms of Pakistan, Biden will not be as good for India as Donald Trump is. On the question on China, Joe Biden is as tough on China as President Trump is. Trump has declared a trade war with China. However, he is less vocal on Chinese human rights record. However, Biden is more vocal on China's human rights record, especially China's treatment of the people of Hong Kong and the Muslims in the Uyghur province in China. Joe Biden has denounced the Chinese Premier Xi Jinping as a thug.
Same question to you. Would you allow Chinese firms to build critical U.S. infrastructure?
No, I would not. And I spent more time with Xi Jinping than any world leader had by the time we left office. This is a guy who doesn't have a democratic with a small d bone in his body. This is a guy who is a thug who, in fact, has 1 million Uyghurs in reconstruction camps, meaning concentration camps. This is the guy who you see what's happening right now in Hong Kong.
He also expressed his desire to meet the exiled Tibetan leader, the Dalai Lama, if he is elected as the president. Apart from all these issues, I believe Joe Biden is far better than Trump on several other critical issues, such as climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic. On the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, Trump did get Modi to release the Indian-made hydroxychloroquine, but he has refused to allow the US even to participate in international vaccine development efforts that is championed by India. Biden, on the other hand, has indicated that he would have the US lead an international pandemic effort, presumably in conjunction with India. On the issue of climate change, they are poles apart. Trump has withdrawn from the Paris Climate Change Agreement, and favors the dismantling of most of the environmental protection legislations. Biden, on the other hand, has made climate change as one of his policy priorities. On the critical issue of India's seat in the UN Security Council, Joe Biden seems to be better than Donald Trump. Previously, under President Obama, there was a tremendous push for India's seat in the UN Security Council. There has been nothing of that sort under President Trump. So despite the bonhomie between Trump and Modi, President Trump did not support India's claim for a seat in UN Security Council. And India has not gained much on this issue from Trump at all. So since Biden is a foreign policy expert, I believe that he will look into the strategic issue of the expansion of the UN Security Council, and India might expect to get a seat in that high table in the United Nations. However, one thing I want to point out here, I am less optimistic about the fact that his vice president is going to be Kamala Harris. The American vice president has only an advisory role in the US government. So Kamala Harris won't have any actual executive power. Moreover, I have closely followed Kamala Harris' campaign to become a senator in the United States, and I have watched even her US presidential campaign. She thinks herself more of an African American than an Indian American. I know that many Indians are celebrating the fact that Kamala Harris has an Indian connection, as her mother was an Indian. But her politics suggests something else. I don't believe that India is going to get much benefit from Kamala Harris. Now, of course, as the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris will definitely visit India, and it will get a tremendous press coverage. That will be good press and photo ops for our Indian leaders. But India won't get anything substantial from Kamala Harris in future. I would say that India and the USA are getting together in a strategic sense, and that strategic sense will carry on regardless of who wins the election. Now, India and US are being forced to come close together by the challenge from the Chinese military. I have a feeling that the Joe Biden regime might be very favorable to India. The only minus point is that President Trump doesn't really care about Modi's cracking down on Kashmir or abolishing the Article 370 or implementing the Citizenship Amendment Act. However, Joe Biden is a Democrat, and the Democratic Party historically has been a greater champion of human rights, and Joe Biden might frown on what we are doing in Kashmir. That is one negative part, but that is a relatively small part in the entire game. The main thing is the new alignment against China that is coming up, and hopefully some of the economic problem between India and US will be resolved via negotiation. That's it in this episode. Comment below if you agree with my assessment. Let me know your questions or suggestions, and I will try to answer some of the questions in the comment section. I will meet you next week with a different topic in this show. Thank you and have a good day.